Hello, besties. Welcome to another Martinis with Eddie. I'm Eddie. And honestly, this week we didn't have new episodes to recap, but there is plenty of Bravo news coming out that I needed to jump on here and just bring it to you and give you my opinion because there is so much to talk about. There's so much tea. And the best part is that we are getting ready to start a new year. So we need to, we need to get ready for new housewife coming back, like Housewife of New Jersey. And that's why I'm wearing a tank top today. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can see that I'm wearing a black tank top in the winter time. But I'm doing it because I'm honoring Housewife of New Jersey coming back to our screens on February 7th. On the trailer, we see Frank and Tanya wearing a black tank top to a restaurant. So I said, you know what? Today I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna honor them by wearing a black tank top. So I will be talking about New Jersey later because there's a lot to talk about. There is plenty of tea coming on that trailer, and I also have the exclusive before anyone released it of the color scheme and also the theme of the cast photo this year. So if you were on Twitter when the news broke out, I gave you the tea before anybody else. Before we jump into the drama in Jersey, I want to talk about the drama happening in Potomac. This news broke out maybe like a month and a half ago in November. This involved Juan Dixon, but the news are making the round again because they finally getting the attention that this case deserved. Juan Dixon was named in a lawsuit against Lucian Brownlee. And you wonder who the hell is Lucian Brownlee? Well, this guy is a former guard who also served as a director of player development and director of basketball operation for Coppin State University. That's the same university where Juan Dixon is the head coach, right, of the basketball team. So this is where the issue lands. Let me explain to you the case so you understand how damaging this really is. And it's kind of infuriating too because it damaged the future of a bright student with an amazing track on his sport. IBM Williams, was a student for Coppin State University. He started to get, some flirtation, I guess DMs from an unknown person that he believed to be a woman, right? The person who was catfishing him was pretending to be a woman. They started, what he thought was romantic, and it got spicy. He started, sending nudes because this catfish person was asking for nudes and wrote and really like racy text messages, and then it got really dark. When I say dark, is this person went into asking for more, pushing him to do more stuff on video and photos with threats. That's when it got really dark. And he started to feel really uncomfortable with the situation. Then he found out that Lucian Brownlee was allegedly being catfished by the same person. And this person asked Brownlee and William to perform sexual acts on video to save his scholarship and not being, publicly, shamed for all the, the videos and the news that he sent out to this person. If you're following the story, it's starting to get more suspicious. Well, now Williams is suing Brownlee because the person who was behind this catfishing was not a lady, was him, who forced him, basically rape him with threats. He forced Williams to perform sexual acts with him. So in that way, he avoids losing his scholarship and being shaped, you know, with his team. But guess what? Those videos and those pictures were leaked because Williams stopped answering to this person, to the mysterious person. He stopped replying to this person's messages. He stopped, performing this person's request. And this is why he's suing, Brownlee, because those images became public. And the sad part is that William went to the head coach, who happens to be Juan Dixon, who is roommate of Robin. We all talk about this. We always have this feeling that Robin's roommate is not a person to trust. And you might think, well, how is this his problem? Well, it is. When he decided to look the other way to protect Brownlee, it became his problem. And honestly, let me tell you, when you have the power, you need to do what is right. And you need to believe the victims first. Whenever this situation happens, the best way to proceed is to make sure that you investigate properly, not just ignore the situation because maybe you're closer to Brownlee. Who knows? I mean, it's really suspicious, to be honest. I do not trust Juan Dixon. I think he has that boys club mentality. You know what I'm saying? By boys club mentality, it means that boys protecting boys no matter what they do. It's like in a frat house. Frat boys are going to protect the other frat, member if they commit anything that is questionable. That's why nowadays more stories of women who were raped or sexually harassed or taken advantage of at frat houses are coming out, because previously this boys club mentality was protecting the guys, and ladies were like, fuck this, we are gonna speak up. And that's how the Me Too movement came to be, and how now we know what's happening behind those doors. And we might have known in the past, but the doors are wide open, and all the darkness is coming out. So it's the same situation with this. I mean, Juan Dixon is mentioned in this lawsuit. The Coppin State University is mentioned in the lawsuit too, because they didn't do what it was right. They even, asked William to end his school online, and he transferred to a different school because he didn't feel supported by these people who are in power. So if you asking me, I don't think Juan Dixon has getting the attention that he needs. And I'm not saying that he needs attention in a way for him to gain popularity out there. I'm saying that people need to talk about this more. I mean, we talk about the housewife all the time. We talk about what the husbands do. We talk about the legal cases. We talk about Erica Jane, Tom Girardi. We are going to talk about Jen Shah. And even though this is not a criminal case against Juan Dixon, it's definitely a morally corrupt behavior. It needs to be talked about. It needs to be pointed out. And the fact that I'm surprised that nobody else is actually putting a spotlight on this case in the Bravo universe is quite questionable. And I'm hoping that now the Potomac season is airing, and soon enough the reunion is gonna be taped. Somebody asked that question to Robin, how she feels about her husband, roommate, being involved in this lawsuit, and the fact that he didn't act accordingly to protect this guy from the predator. I want to know your opinion. I want to know your perspective, because this is a serious case. This might not seem as bad as Jurari Key stealing money from orphan and widows, and Jen Shah stealing for the elderly. But this is a traumatizing experience that a young man went through and possibly ruined his life. This is porn revenge. This is not just just a picture. This is more than that. This is videos. This is text messages. The I mean, he sent to somebody he thought that it was a woman romantically interested in him, and then he found out that no, it was some guy in his team, and his coach did not do anything to prevent it when he asked for help. This is the type of conversation that we need to have with our boys, younger boys, is that we need to be more proactive on protecting other human beings. And I'm not just talking about protecting by lying or by, ignoring people's like behaviors. Like I said before, the boys club mentality or like the frat mentality. I'm talking about protecting the person who is being bullied, protecting the person who's been harassed, the person who has experience on sexual assault or rape. Men, women go through these situations, and it's really devastating that a young man has to go through this on his own. It's the reality. He asked for help from the people in power, and nobody did anything. And now he's suing, rightfully so. He better can get a good chunk of money. Yeah, money is not gonna solve the mental issue, the trauma caused by the situation. But that's how the justice system works. You need to get compensation. You need to make sure that this person gets exposed. Because how many people this guy, is going to do it to? How many people Browley has, catfished? Maybe this was maybe this is the first time that somebody is outing him for being a perp. But I'm pretty sure that maybe William is not the first person that he does this. So I'm happy that at least he's looking for that justice, And like I said before, I want to know your side of the story. And in all honesty, even though Juan Dixon was not the one catfishing this guy, he was the one who ignored and looked the other way. And if you ask me, that is complicit. That is complicit. Because you did nothing. Nothing when the time needed it. That happened in Potomac. And if the ladies are talking about, Chris Bassett, for doing nothing, the guy has done nothing. And it has been proven, over and over, even by Giselle herself, who said, like, no, he made me feel that way, but he didn't do anything wrong, but he made me feel that way. To the point that he even apologized to her, and now she's going on TV saying, well, he apologized because he knew that he did something wrong. So if we are talking about this, I hope Candace bring this up in the reunion. Because if the ladies are going to talk about her husband for what he made Giselle feels, I think it's fair enough for Candace to ask Robin, how the hell are you, doing this to my husband? yet your husband is out there protecting predators who take advantage of students. I want her to ask that question in the read. Actually, if you're listening right now, the moment that Bravo puts out a tweet or the post asking for a question, please somebody ask that question. How the hell they go after Chris Bassett, who has been proven by production itself over and over with the footages and the flashbacks and all the stuff, and by Giselle herself? How the hell they talk about Chris Bassett when Juan Dixon is sitting right there protecting a predator who took advantage of a student by catfishing him and sending him, nudes and videos, and even go to the extreme to force him into perform sexual act with him, and when the student asked for help, he did nothing. That is complicit. So once again, if you have an opinion, if you have a take on this, please go to my Twitter account, Martini with Eddie, or go to my YouTube channel and leave a comment, because I would like to know your opinion on it. That's true. Well, let's go to another city right now. Let's go to Beverly Hills, because as we know, Beverly Hills is about to start filming pretty soon. And Brandi last night posted a very cryptic message on Twitter of her holding a diamond. Like her hand, she opened her hand and a diamond was right on her hand. It only said, the message was, let me read the tweet because this is very important, so we all have the full context of the message. The tweet that she posted said, "I love this Christmas present." When she posted that, she posted a video of her holding the diamond. And I'm wondering, do you guys think that Brandi got her diamond back? And my girl Candy Washington is here. Hello, girl. For those who have been listening to the podcast, you guys know that I'm putting a panel of experts this Friday at 6 p.m. We're going to be talking about the best, the worst, and the what the fuck moments of 2022 on the Bravo universe, and Candy is going to be part of it. So you better tune in because it's going to be amazing. It's going to be the best way to close 2022, a year that we will never forget, because oh my gosh, Bravo gave us so much content. And like I was saying before, we ended the year with the possibility of Brandi coming back to Beverly Hills. How I feel about that, I'm very torn. And I'm going to tell you why. I have no issues with Brandi coming back. Absolutely not. Because I like Brandi in some levels. Some parts of Brandi are interesting. Some parts of Brandi are entertaining. I'm a full-on LVP fan, so I hate what happened between the two of them, and I hate how Brandi decided to handle it. Even she gave LVP a slap on the face, which I think is still unacceptable. But I can appreciate what Brandi brings to a show as a reality TV star. That I can appreciate, but I do have a problem. I have a problem how close she is with Kyle Richards and Lisa Rinna nowadays. And I'm saying this is because Beverly Hills has become the Force Fox 5 different shapes and forms in each season since it got formed, right? The whatever Force Fox 5 got formed on season 9, and since then there has been a majority of those ladies keeping the storylines and keeping the narrative and keeping the balance on tilted to their side. I thought that maybe, just maybe, Bravo will listen to their viewers and balance until the balance to at least a little more towards Garcelle and Sutton, because the two of them together I mean, yes, they're great and they can handle the rest, but it's such an unfair battle because we have two ladies and maybe Crystal once in a while, who I also like. But Crystal, I feel like she is not 100% um like a team person. She likes to like play with everybody and see where she falls and all this stuff. We've seen it. Uh, but we needed somebody like maybe Denise Richards, LVP, or Camille Grammer to balance that weight and have a little more cushion on that side so they can like actually have a balanced conversation and a balanced drama because I'm tired of having these women always pushing out all the ladies that come on the show or protecting each other. I think it's time to break that Force Fox 5. In this season was the perfect opportunity for Bravo to do so. That's why I have an issue with Brandi coming back. Having Brandi back means that there is another, member of the Force Fox 5 coming on the show. If Bravo wanted to bring Brandi back, I needed Bravo to also bring Denise Richards. And I'm gonna tell you why. Denise Richards and Brandi have a lot of drama unsolved drama from the season 10. And that would be the perfect opportunity for Bravo to tie those knots and see how that goes. I will need Lisa to be gone. So is Brandi, Kyle Richards, Erica Jane, that's 4, and that's 3, and Dorit. And on the other side, we will have Garcelle, Sutton, Denise, and Crystal whenever she wants to be involved in anything. And I will say bring Kathy Hilton as a friend of for these ladies here for my team, the winning team, the dream team. Garcelle, Sutton, Crystal, Denise, and that would be great. And then maybe a friend of for the other ones. Because the show can't survive always having the same team, having like 6 members on one side and 2 members on the other side. Like, that's not fair. And people say, yeah, the show is not about teams. But guess what? Beverly Hills made it a point that it was about teams. The moment the Fox 4-5 formed, anyone who's not part of that team, so they're gonna find their way to kick them out because they're protecting each other, because they wanna keep the same narrative and the same toxicity around them. They, at this point, they're not even friends. They're just co-workers trying to hold a contract. And the way that they protect that contract is protecting each other's secrets. And it's exhausting. Because as viewer, we already realize that. I mean, I like Brandi. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I do like her. I think she's great as a reality TV star. She's not rich. She's not like wealthy. So she's thirsty for money and for a paycheck. So she is gonna deliver. She's going to do something to keep that paycheck going. And yes, Candy, I agree with you too. You just say something important. I think Brandi can be the perfect friend of who's in the mess, but is not a diamond holder. She doesn't need to be a housewife. I agree. She can be a friend of, so she can also go do Ultima's Girls Trip, who I really enjoy on Ultima's Girls Trip. That's the type of setting that I think Brandi shines the most. Brandi is the perfect girl to take on trips. Is the perfect girl to have a good time. Is the perfect girl to have a drink and dance. I would love to go and party with Brandi. I actually run into her at that party at the Gansenvoort Hotel, at the rooftop party uh, uh, during BravoCon, and you can tell she was having a good time. You know, so she is a fun person to see in a trip type of setting. So Ultima's Girls Trip was the perfect way to bring Brandi back to our lives and to the housewife universe. But I do not believe the Brandi is needed as a full-time housewife. I do not think so. The way that the show has moved on from the time that she was on it, she barely has any real connection with the current drama. That's another thing. There is a lot of drama that was unsolved on season 12, right? So I believe the bringing Brandi is not helpful for that storylines to actually, get to a point of closure, because that's the problem with Beverly Hills. We have had so many storylines unsolved for so many seasons that it's not enjoyable. Like, there's no real closure. So we're just trying to guess what's happening, you know? In other seasons, in other franchises, there is a sense of closure at the end. We don't have that with Beverly Hills. So I don't know, guys. I want to know what you feel about Brandi coming back. I think it's important to be very objective when it comes to casting a member, especially a member who was part of the franchise before. Look what happened to Taylor. Taylor Taylor Armstrong was moved to another city because I believe that bringing Taylor Armstrong to Beverly Hills will be unnecessary. And I love Taylor. Taylor is like truly one of those housewives that people underestimate. And she was going through a lot by the time that she was on the show. But bringing her back to Beverly Hills would have been a waste of time and diamond. You know, Candy mentioned something here very important that we have to remember. Brandi stabbed Kim Richards in the back to be on the good side of Kyle. You know, that is very true. You know, we gotta remember the story of Kim Richards with Rena and Kyle Richards, and that has a lot to do with the fact that Brandi hasn't been speaking to Kim. I agree with Candy. It is very, very questionable, if you ask me. The fact that two alleged best friends, Brandi and Kim, had one altercation and they haven't solved that problem. And they were friends for a very long time. So I'm assuming that maybe because Brandi wanted to get on the show again, and the best way to get back on the show is to be on Kyle Richards' good side. She did what she did what it needed to be done. You know, she did what she felt it was needed to be done. I don't know, but I'm very torn. If she wants to come back, be a friend of, like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Brandi as a friend of will shine. Brandi as a friend of will give her the opportunity to do more stuff. She has a new show coming out next month on Peacock, The Traitors. So she has stuff going on. And stuff that she can easily be promoting. I would rather have her doing other shows or being a friend of than a full-time housewife on Beverly Hills, because the story has moved on. And if she's coming back as a full-time, the bigger drama that she had the last time that we saw her on the show was with Denise Richards. So not having Denise Richards on the show while Brandi's back makes absolutely no sense. No sense. Because I would like to see their drama unfold. And I believe that if Denise comes back to the show, she's ready. because she understands how this reality TV on Beverly Hills work. How to move around with this lady. Now she understands that this lady don't keep a promise, because the reason why she left the show in the first place was because she knew what they were doing. Because she asked production and the ladies herself, she said to the ladies, I don't want to talk about my court case on this show because it's very, very delicate. This is for, keeping my children's. She was going to court against Charlie Sheen so she could keep her kids. And she was very clear. They had a code, which means I was working. Every time that they asked her where she was and why she was late and stuff like that, wasn't because she was actually working. It was because she was going to court those days. So she said the word work. And they knew that. They knew that Denise was going through that. That's why if you watch the video, when finally Denise breaks the fourth wall, say like, we're not doing this, Kyle, I'm not talking to you because you know what you're doing. When she said, well, you know what you're doing, means we agree that we were not going to talk about this on TV, and you are still trying to make me talk about it. Like, stop doing what you're doing right now. So Denise was like, you know what? These bitches are not going to let me go. They're not going to let it go. So I'm going to leave. So they use anything to push her out of the show. They use Brandi. They use, the fact that she didn't want to talk about Charlie Sheen. And they were just jealous because I'm gonna be honest. If she was getting paid more than women that were on the show for longer than she was, I might be a little jealous. That was the case of Kyle Richards. That was the case of Erica Jane. That was the case of Rena. You know that Denise was getting paid $1 million per season. At that point, not even Kyle Richards was making that money. So they saw that as a threat. And they got their way to push her out. But I do believe that if Brandi is coming back, Denise should be back and, settle that issue. The old school Beverly Hill way, by bringing her on the show. So tell me what you think, people. Tell me what you think. Are you happy for Brandi to come back to the show? Are you against it? Or you want to see how it goes? I personally, I'm curious, but I'm not very excited because I know that she's coming on the show as a friend of Kyle and Rena, and we don't need more people on that team. We don't need more 4 Fox 5 allies. We have enough. Like, plenty. And I'm tired. It's exhausting, you guys. Beverly Hills has become one of the most exhausting franchises to watch. And yes, you can go my comments and say, you need to stop watching it then. You need to stop watching it. I'm like, trolls, I don't care what you say. I honestly gonna continue watching it because it's my favorite franchise. But as somebody who's been watching Beverly Hills since season 1, from the moment that it came out, I seen the evolution of the franchise as it's happening. I didn't just watch it during the pandemic. I watched this franchise from the moment that it started. So to see how it has become is quite disappointing. While other franchises are shining, Miami is absolutely amazing. It's literally one of the best franchises this year. Potomac, it could be better because it has had better seasons, but it's delivering. We're talking about it. Not the case of Salt Lake City. Eh, I'm very disappointed with this season. But Beverly Hills has the money. Beverly Hills has the connections. Beverly Hills has the fortune, has the businesses, has the pettiness, the women's with way too much money, they and way too much free time. So for them to give us nothing and literally headaches every week after week is truly exhausting. And yes, I know we talk about the Erica Jane overall for 2 seasons, and we're gonna be talking about it because the case is not closed. But I still want them to give us more than just that. And I'm hoping the production sees the reaction of the audience and listen, because what's going to happen is that the franchise with the highest rating is on the verge of maybe losing that title. And I'm going to tell you why. The past 2 seasons, a lot of people hate watch the show. But hate watching doesn't get the show, running. Because it's going to be a point where people are going to be, okay, I hate this show too much to watch it anyways. And people are going to turn the TV off. And that's what's going to happen. A lot of people watch Beverly Hills as a hate watch show. And that's not good. I believe that there has to be a cast shakeup. The contracts haven't been sent just yet, but they should be out very soon because they are starting filming towards the end of January. So they need to start, getting people ready. So we might be getting some news of the cast. We might not get the official, cast anytime soon because obviously Bravo's not gonna just release it. They tend to wait, while they're filming or whatever towards the end of the filming, so we have an idea directly from Bravo. But we are nosy bitches. I mean, we live for leaking information, and more than one blogger, including myself, might get some tea along the way, and we're gonna share with you guys. That's the reality. We are going to learn this information because people like me and Candy, who is still here, hi Candy, we love to bring you guys fresh information. And how we get that information, we're not gonna share that information either because we don't share our sources. But it's true. As soon as Beverly Hills start filming, we will know who is going to be returning. And based on the assumption that I'm getting from what I'm seeing on the internet and what I'm seeing on the ladies' Instagram and whatever people are talking about, pretty much everybody is coming back. Pretty much everybody from last season is coming back. The only person that I'm 100% sure that is like completely, out is Diana. There is no way. There is absolutely no way that she's back. Not even as a friend of. The lady was not invited to watch what happened live once. The lady was at the reunion for like 5 minutes. She wasn't at BravoCon. She wasn't at the People's Choice Award. And she keeps making excuses. She keeps making excuses that I was sick, I'm pregnant, and all this stuff. And I'm happy for her. I hope she focuses on that. Because we know that she has health issues and pregnancy problems in the past. So I hope that that pregnancy is designed for her to not come back to the show. She needs to focus on what truly matters, and I think having a baby in her case is more important than being on the show. She is way too wealthy to even care for a Bravo paycheck. I'm still shocked that she decided to do it. She was not ready. She was not ready. That's what happened too. And to be honest, if Diana came on the show last season with an open mind and not with this laser focus beef with Sutton for absolutely no reason, because she did not know Sutton before the season started filming. So it's kind of like, okay, uh, why don't you take the time to meet and engage and get to know these ladies before you form your plan? It was because she was fed by Lisa Rinna, and that's what happened. And that's what happened when you become Lisa Rinna's little puppet. You don't last not even one season. Honestly. So once again, I want to know what you think. I want to know your opinion about Brandi maybe making her comeback to Beverly Hills as a full-time housewife. Are you okay with it? Are you not? Do you want to see her as a friend of? Let me know. Now we're going to my state, my home state, New Jersey. We got the trailer, you guys. We got the trailer, and the trailer is explosive. And I'm proud to say that I was the first person to drop the color scheme and the theme for the cast photo before even went live on that People's Entertainment entertainment article. I gave you the exclusive on my Twitter. And if you think online, you can go back to my Twitter, check the time that I posted the description of the photo, and you will realize that it was accurate. I couldn't post the actual photo because that was not in my power. But my source was very clear and descriptive of the photo and was accurate. I'm telling you, I'm not the type of content creator who make breaking news and allegedly post for clickbait. If I post something, it's because it's coming from a reliable source. And I'm happy that this time I was able to give you that exclusive. So by the time that the picture came out, most people who follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, knew, and on Instagram too as well. I love the color scheme of that photo, and I love the composition and the dresses. The ladies look amazing. As you can see, I have purple lining here because that's my color too. That's my color scheme, and I'm happy that they are doing that. And like I said before, when I started the show today, I'm wearing a black tank top. I'm describing it because a lot of people are going to listen to this on my podcast. So that's why I'm describing it. I'm wearing this black tank top in honor of New Jersey because Frank Catania was wearing a black tank top at a fancy restaurant. And that's the most Jersey thing to do. Honestly, that is so Jersey. You know, you have the guns out, the tattoos, and the tank top in a fancy hotel, in a fancy restaurant, while having dinner with, I guess ex-wife at this point. But the trailer focused on what leads to Teresa's wedding, which is also a Bravo special. The will air after the franchise airs. I'm so intrigued for how Melissa takes those rumors, because I don't know, those rumors. I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get sued. I'm not gonna get sued. I'm not gonna say anything. So I'm gonna wait for the show to air and people can make their own minds. But yeah. Anyways, as we all know, the Gorgas were not invited to Teresa's wedding at the end because there was a huge fight on the last cast party, and I believe we saw some of those moments play out on the trailer. We also have Jennifer Aiden dealing with her family issues. We see Dolores having a new love in her life and also dealing with how Frank Catania is taking this new person, you know, which by the way is not his fucking business. Frank Catania is basically a roommate too. Frank Catania is kind of like the Juan Dixon when it comes to their dynamic. Obviously, Juan Dixon is in a marriage or proposed to Robin or whatever, but they do have a weird dynamic. Hi, Elizabeth Hernandez. Welcome to the conversation. And if you have any question, please let me know. If you have any comments, I'm doing this all live. So like I was saying, Frank Catania has no saying on Dolores' love life. Like, let her go. Like, she found somebody new. She deserves happiness. He's been playing around down the shore. I mean, let the girl have her own time and her own kiki. We are introduced to two new housewives this season. We are introduced to Danielle Cabral and Rachel Fuda. Honestly, I'm excited for this addition. I'm excited for Danielle. Danielle looks like the ultimate Jersey-licious woman, and I'm obsessed with her. Obsessed. She's coming on the show to be on Jennifer and Teresa's team, the winning team. And I know I'm gonna get heat for this. I know a lot of people don't like Teresa, but Teresa's my girl. I'm from Jersey. I grew up in Ridgewood, which is the town next to the one where Teresa used to live. So I love my Jersey girl, and I love to have somebody like Danielle on the show. Rachel comes on the show as a friend of, I mean, she's a full-time housewife, but she's going to be on Melissa and Margaret's team. Oh God, those I don't care. I don't know, you guys. I'm not a fan of Melissa. I'm not a fan of Margaret because honestly, they haven't had a storyline that it doesn't involve Teresa's, you know, issues. It's like literally that's what they do. Melissa came on the show behind Teresa's back. So Teresa came on the Melissa came on the show behind Teresa's back, and her only storyline so far that is kind of like memorable is her issue with Teresa. And I don't care what anybody says, but Teresa is way more iconic than Melissa to the point that Bravo literally stopped filming while Teresa was away. And Bravo has never done that for anyone. Ever. And they knew that Teresa was the spine, the core, what keep this franchise moving, that when she went away, they paused filming. Melissa can retire tomorrow and probably like, hey girl, bye. Thank you for being on display. One thing I'm happy about, and this is easily proven. You can easily prove this information. Teresa is focused on her family and her career and what truly matters to her. She just was on a People's Magazine interview, and her family looks absolutely beautiful. And she doesn't even mention once Melissa and Joe. Not even once. And Melissa and Joe Gorga has gone in a I Hate Teresa's tour. Literally. In whatever blog or whatever magazine that give them a little spot, page 6 is like in love with Melissa because she is on page 6 pretty much daily, trashing Teresa. Or saying something like, I am the victim of my sister in law hate. Oh, she didn't invite me or my mom to the wedding, man. I'm like, in the first place, Teresa didn't need to invite your mom. Like, girl, like, for so many seasons, you guys didn't even talk. And yes, the family feud storylines in Jersey are getting tiresome, you guys. I think they need to move from that a little bit. I mean, I understand where it's coming from. As somebody from Jersey, I know that the family, dynamics is literally our core dynamics. Um, it's part of our culture kind of thing in Jersey. Like it's all about family. Um, that's what it is. But the show has had this same topic for too long. Or at least bring a new family in, because the Gorgas versus the Judais, and that's it. That's kind of like, okay, I need something else. Um, and like I said before, you can check this out. Melissa, it's talking about Teresa nonstop for the past 2 months since the BravoCon. She has not stopped talking about Teresa. But Teresa hasn't mentioned Melissa at all. Even when they were trying to make her talk about her during BravoCon, she was like, nope, I wish them the best. That's all I'm saying. And that's how you know that she's winning. Because she knows that she doesn't need Melissa to have a storyline on the franchise. But the only storyline that Melissa has is Teresa. Period. And I want you guys, if you guys have, and this is the part where I want to invite the conversation, because this is not a place where my opinion is the only one that matters. If you don't agree with me, that's completely fine. I'm inviting you to go to my Twitter or my Instagram or my YouTube channel and leave your comments and leave your opinion and how I'm wrong or how you don't agree with me. I want that. I want to know how you feel, because New Jersey is coming soon. New Jersey will be back on February 7th, and we're going to be having this conversation pretty much weekly when I start recapping the episode. So I want to know how you feel about this before we start recapping it. Let me just remind you, the premiere of the season 13 will be on February 7th at 9 p.m. on Bravo, and then it will be streaming on Peacock the next day. The cast will be, returning with Teresa, with Melissa, with Margaret, Dolores, and Jennifer Aiden. Then we have the two newbies, Danielle Cabral and Rachel Fuda. And poor Jackie, she was demoted to a friend of, even though she said that was her decision. I'm like, girl, no. Like Jennifer Aiden said it once. She said that she's too vanilla, that she was boring, and the money might came by your class or a personality. And I agree. I think Jackie is not interesting at all. And I'm not going to make any mention about her eating disorder because that is something very delicate and something that many people go through. And I appreciate that she decided to share that with the world and share her struggle and the way that she's trying to overcome that struggle. But that alone is not a reason to hold a meatball. Yes, I call the jersey object the meatball, even though they're not holding anything. I call them meatball. It's the most Italian thing that you can find. um, but yeah, I don't think the Jack is that interesting. I find her husband more interesting than her. Even is yeah, he's hot. But she said that she's coming back as a friend of by choice. I don't think so. I think Danielle Cabral was a stronger choice, and that's why she's back. And then we also have a new friend of Jennifer Fessler. So the cast is good. I'm excited about this cast. It looks like we're gonna get a lot of drama. It looks like the show is getting the shakeup that it needed. The cast photo is amazing. I'm just hoping that we don't get disappointed because so many franchises have been very hyped up lately, very hyped up, like Salt Lake City. And God knows the Salt Lake City has been a complete disappointment. I'm still not over the fact that maybe 4 episodes of the season were about a freaking choir. And the whole I thing is such a mess, and not in the cool, messy way. I'm talking about how uninteresting it really is. Like at this point, I don't even care how she got the black eye. I don't care if it was Jen Shah or if it was because she got Botox, uh, beauty lab in the wrong place and it bruised her eye. I don't care. Honestly, do not care. I'm like ready for this season to be over, and I'm ready for them to bring new people. I'm very interested to see how these newbies friend of evolved into possibly snowflake holders. That's what I think is going to happen. But I will have that. I will have that exclusive. I promise you guys. I will have that exclusive because I'm gonna get that news whenever the ladies of Salt Lake City get their contract for the next season, if we get a next season. Wow, man. Talking about Salt Lake City, I wanna just wrap it up with a bow. Have you guys read the papers that were just released about Jen Shah and the victims of her scam thing? It's quite disgusting. Finally, we we listen from the actual victims, and the fact that the victims are saying that their experience with Jen Shah and their team was so devastating for their lives. And we're not just talking about a couple of, thousands of dollars. We're talking about people losing their home. One person ended up homeless because Jen Shah's team threatened them. How disgusting. People end up broke. People had heart attacks, stress. They lost money. They lost their savings. And we are talking about elderly people. who had worked their whole life to have something saved for their future, and then these people come in promising them that they're going to have, more money, to invest their money so they can have more money and, have a better, lifestyle, for them to take that money and leave them with nothing. So Jen Shah can go out and get fake bags and fake designer clothing. Like, how embarrassing. As we know, we found out from the audit that they did on Jen Shah's items that they took when they went to her house. A lot of the stuff were fake. So you're telling me that you're defrauding elderly people to buy fake bags? Like, Jen Shah, how embarrassing. But also how disgusting that you play the innocent card for so long on TV to then play guilty. And then on top of that, still trying to manipulate the narrative to make people believe that you were not involved, or you were doing this because it was the best way to get the, like the least sentencing or whatever, when in reality, girl, your mess is bigger than what you made all of us believe. I mean, I never supported her from the beginning. When this stuff came out, I'm the type of person who always gonna side with the victims. I take this very personally. I'm not sure why. I don't know the victims, but I think that when you build your lifestyle on the back of people who have way less than you have, is so freaking disgusting. So watching and reading the victims' deposition and the way that they were explaining how every penny they worked for was taken away by Jen Shah's team, it's truly awful. And I still don't understand how Jen Shah has fans or people saying, I hope she just get a month so she can come back and film next season. I'm like, I mean, she can be all entertaining that you want to make her to be. Because let's be honest. I want to be honest. And I want you to tell me. Jen Shah is not really that entertaining. Jen Shah has been extremely, I would say, like, toxic for the franchise. She's always angry at somebody. She's always yelling at somebody. She's always threatening somebody. She's always, being physical with somebody. So I don't find that entertaining. I find that annoying. If you want to talk about entertaining, Mary Cosby is entertaining. Because she said the wrong thing here and there. She said something funny, but she never was physically abusive, or she never was, um, always trying to fight with somebody. She will always say something snarky or petty, but that's fun. But what Jen Shah has done is not entertaining on the show. So for the fact that people out there still giving her support, the only people I feel bad on all this is her kids. And maybe Coach Shah. I'm still unsure. Because the more documents and stuff are being made public, I'm starting to question if he really knew or not what she was doing. Maybe he didn't know, but he was involved somehow. Because based on the paperwork that that we saw, there is a part that said that Jen Shah was always asking advices to Coach Shah on how to reply emails and all this stuff, and how to reply to clients, what will be the best way to talk to them. So he might not be directly involved with this scam, but he knew that she was doing something questionable. I mean, that's all I can say. But her kids are the only ones that I feel so bad, because kids, and I'm saying this from a personal experience, kids are always collateral damage from their parents' mistakes. And that's what's happening in this situation. These kids has to deal with such a public case. These kids has to watch news. These kids has to read the articles. People talk about all this stuff. The fact that their mom is going away for probably like 10 years minimum. That's what the government is looking for. Because they see Jen Shah as the mastermind behind this whole situation. So yes, she is going for a long time. And she deserves it. What part of, you are caught in the act, you know you are committing crime, you're paying that your time. And once again, I am tired of explaining how Teresa Giudice's crime is completely different to Jen Shah's crime. Teresa did not steal from elderly people. Teresa signed papers given by her husband. And she felt so comfortable with this guy that she signed all these papers. And that was the end of their marriage. That was the end. We knew that as soon as Teresa, left that place, she was going to completely end that marriage. She lost the trust. But Jen Shah's crimes are completely disgusting because they are purposely attacking elderly, trying to get their money. They are taking hard-earned money from people who depend on this to survive, because these are savings that they put aside while they were working, and now that they are in the retirement stage, that's all they have. So it's just Teresa just as guilty. Yeah, this, I mean, we will have to talk about that one. That we'll talk about on Friday. I want to have this conversation on Friday. But I just like I can't take the fact that somebody's life is directly affected by somebody directly. I always felt like attacking the institution of the government and you know the institution of taxation, to me personally, is not as morally corrupt as attacking a human being only way to survive, or attacking a human that needs help. That's why I cannot stand Jen Shah. That's why I cannot stand Erica Jane. And yes, Erica Jane might not be the mastermind behind the whole airplane crash case and the gas pipe case and the cancer cases and stuff like that. I am not putting Erica Jane as the mastermind behind this. I want to be clear. What I'm saying is, she knew where this money was coming from after the fact. When this whole case became public, at that point, she already knew what Tom Girardi was doing. And the way that she acted on the show and how she still acts nowadays, so entitled, is completely freaking disgusting. So that's why I can stand Jen Shah. I can stand Erica Jane. I can stand, obviously, Tom Girardi. Freaking disgusting. Whew. I'm telling you, this is a heavy topic. This is a heavy topic, and that's the way that we end in 2022, I guess. No, but that's what I was saying. Bravo, even when it's off, because this week we have no shows to recap, we still have news to talk about. I literally explained, you guys are not gonna believe this. I literally explained my family who doesn't watch Bravo at all during our Christmas dinner the whole Jen Shah case. I explained to them and I'm saying, yeah, Jen Shah's trial is in January 6th. And they're like, who is Jen Shah in this world? But I have to educate the people. I have to educate the people. We have to make sure that the people are educated in important cases like Jen Shah's. um, that's how I celebrated Christmas. By the way, I wanted to share that story. Now that we're talking about Salt Lake City and Jen Shah, I I have family over the weekend. We celebrated Christmas starting Friday. We started Friday with a tacos and tequila theme party. We didn't have Vita though. We did not have Vita tequila. I feel so bad because I was going to get the Vita tequila for the party, but because of shipping and stuff like that, it wasn't gonna be here on time. So I decided not to go with that. So I'll get some Vita tequila for our future family gathering. So we started on Friday with tacos and tequila without Vita. And then we had Saturday and Sunday also dinners with family members. On Sunday we have a gathering at my mother-in-law, and literally in the middle of the Christmas dinner, as we are talking about different topics and sharing what we were doing, I decided to start the conversation about Jen Shah, even though nobody knows who that is. Hello, Ellis Stone girl, how are you? Hello, thank you for joining today. I'm just saying that celebrating Christmas with my family was interesting. Now they know who Jen Shah is, and now they know what the case was all about. It's not like they were interested on it. I forced them. I literally forced them because if I've been forced to listen about other situations and other news that I don't care about, they are going to listen to what I care about. This reminds me of Thanksgiving too. Thanksgiving happened right after BravoCon, obviously, and I made sure to share my experience uh, that from BravoCon with my family. And even though they did not know half of the people that I was talking about, they were happy because I showed them the pictures and I showed the videos, and they were like, "Oh, look, looks like fun," even though I don't know who these people are. So that's what the holidays are all about in my household. I always try to make a little of like a Bravo moment because, um, yeah, every road leads to Bravo. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm going to close this episode by inviting you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel, to my podcast, to follow my Instagram and my Twitter account, Martinez with Eddie. Don't forget to tune in this Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time because I have a panel of experts. And when I say experts, this is like people who have been watching Bravo since day one, and they have one of the most influential channels, Instagram accounts, Twitter accounts on the Bravo content creator universe. One of those people, Candy Washington, is here with us tonight. Thank you for joining me, Candy. I see your messages, and I know we're gonna have to talk about all of the Teresa drama. Because I see on the messages. But yes, I'm gonna have a panel of friends. I call these people friends. We have created a friendship thanks to Bravo, in our passion of talking about all this reality TV madness is definitely um, our happy place. We talk about all this stuff, and we understand that, and we want to share with you our opinions. So I'm gonna have Candy. I'm gonna have Blake from Black Heart Blonde Hair. I'm gonna have Philly Diva. If you know who Philly Diva is, you know that it's going to be good. Yes, I got Philly Diva. I have more people. I have more people coming. So it's going to be a really fun way to end 2022. We're going to be talking about the best, the worst, and the what the fuck moments on the Bravo universe. It's going to be a really fun show. And we're going to toast. We're going to toast for a year of success, a year of drama, a year of legal battles, a year of happy moments, a year where we actually had the opportunity to go to BravoCon after a pandemic, in such an iconic moment. So we will talk about all this stuff this Friday. So tune in at 6 p.m. And once again, besties, if you are enjoying this conversation, you know what to do. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my podcast. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Martini with Eddie. And with that said, besties, you know what I always say every time that we finish a show. Bye, besties.